What's up guys, Psycho is Sick here with episode number 3 of my ODST LASO walkthrough. I hope you're ready for a longer and slightly harder level. This is Kizingo Bouelevard. Alright, now this one is really tough, but we figured out some little, they're not glitches, but we figured out some ways to make certain parts easier. But once again, this is best done in 4-player co-op. At least 3 people. Is my suggestion for you guys. Now right off the bat, 2 people go for the scorpion tank, and then the other 2, me and Mr. Vodka, are over here, and we're waiting for the wraith to come around this corner, and since it's facing me, he's gonna jump on it and destroy it real quick. And otherwise, if it was facing him, I would have jumped on the back of it. And then if you get hurt, just melee these jackals a little bit. They most likely won't kill you, but the SMG works really good on them for some reason. But yeah, I didn't even realize I had rockets. Yeah, if you don't like have the levels memorized, it's kind of hard to know what you have in your hand. But now you just let the tank do the work. Of course, take out the wraith first, and then just kill off the remaining enemies here. Try to get as many checkpoints as possible. This video might be slightly boring since I wasn't in any of the tanks, but yeah, make sure you get rid of that second one as well. We shot some rockets at it, but didn't really do much. I got pushed by the brute here. I was trying not to die. Oh, and you might also notice if you see it jump that I cut the video, because as you'll see at the end, it's like 57 minutes it took us to do this. But it would have taken a lot longer, but like I said, we did find some ways to make certain parts easier. Now after you clear out all these enemies here, I believe you get the second tank. There's gonna be 3 tanks, which is why I said you should have 3 people. And you want to make sure all 3 of them survive. You can make this level so much easier, but you need all 3 tanks to do it. Or at least we did. I mean, you might be able to find a way to make it easier. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get there, but yeah, just take your time, make sure every enemy's dead, try to get those checkpoints. There's a lot of tight corners here, so see, he grabbed the other tank. I believe it's over to the left where the wraith was, but I'm not really sure, but you'll be able to see it. But yeah, I'm just staring at the ground, just letting them do all the work. Yep, there's the video cut right there. This part took a little bit. You want to make sure that you kill every enemy, and you don't want the tanks to get stuck on each other. So like, try not to be end to end, because if the tank in front needs to back up and there's a tank behind you, you're not going anywhere. And you get stuck by a grenade, you're pretty much dead, even in the tank. So that's why you want to make sure you take your time, especially on this level where every turn has some enemies. And yeah, you really want to memorize where the enemies are too, because there's enemies on the roof, there's enemies like in little building windows. I was really bored smacking that dude's body. It does not regenerate health unless they're alive though. But yeah, so right now we've got 2 of the tanks and we're just cruising through the level. But if you lose a tank, I would definitely recommend restarting the last checkpoint. Yeah, there I was just seeing, you can look at the shadows to see what weapon you have as well. Oh man, this level was such a pain. It takes forever too. Yeah, see, you want to watch out around the corners here. Pretty sure that we had at least 2 times where the tank in front died up here because he couldn't back up. Stuck on the other tank. But yeah, just take note from this video where the enemies are. There's enemies up on the roof around that corner over there. And there's also ghosts that come at you. So you want to watch out for both of those things. Because tanks are very, very important. Unless you want the end to be really difficult, then I would suggest saving the tanks. And now he's firing up at the enemy that's in the window up there. And then more ghosts come. I forget what the par score is. I think it's 40,000 on this level, maybe not so much, but you can definitely get it. We got it. Oh, you see the score just jumped from 50,000 to 26,000. Yeah, we got stuck here for a little bit, so don't be surprised if you end up dying a lot, because we definitely did. Yeah, see, I was getting bored just jumping around. Well, yeah, that's the key to this level, is just take your time, kill all the enemies, save the tanks. It's not really anything to talk about at this point. Thinking back, I probably should have been in one of the tanks, but see, I actually didn't even remember that there was a third one, so the other guy gets in it. See, I had already done lasso at this point, so I was kind of just letting them run me through it a second time on this level. There's going to be a lot of open battles on this one, where there's wraiths and phantoms and ghosts, enemies up on the roof. This level is definitely a pain. So don't be surprised if you're stuck on it for an hour or more. See right there, that -709 was actually one of our teammates accidentally killed all the Marines. But if you look over there, just remember when you think all the enemies are dead, to my right, there's a little staircase. There's a lot of enemies that like to hide down there. So just be careful when you're turning that corner. They might jump you. Alright, on to the next annoying part. This is the first of 2 open areas, I think. There might be 3. It's kind of hard for me to remember since I'm hiding back, but I did not want to die. Everyone was sick of this level as it was. Alright, yeah, this area has a lot of, there's at least 2 ghosts. There's a little thing in the middle of this area, like a little building type thing. And on the other end of it, directly across, there is a brute with a turret. So just make sure you remember that, because that will mess you up if you go through there and you forget he's up there. And I believe there's also fuel rod cannon enemies on the ceilings, on the roofs as well. But yeah, we died a lot here too. One of the tanks kept getting blown up. Not really sure where the second tank went. I think he went to the right. Yeah, he did. Sort of getting across on all the enemies here. You definitely want to keep your distance from everything. Like I said, 1 grenade, I'm pretty sure it kills the tank. I'm jumping, I don't know if you can see, on the other side of that building, and oh, there's another part we died. Just, you can move up with the, I don't know, you might be able to take out the Phantom, I doubt it. You might need all 3 tanks to take it out before it drops off all the enemies, but it does drop off a couple more ghosts and more enemies, so just take your time, you'll get through it eventually. There's a checkpoint back here also in case you die. I think one of my teammates ran to grab the 3rd tank. It's located on the left, but there are enemies guarding it. So he said he was able to get in the tank every time, but they would stick him right away, which would blow it up. So just be careful of that. I don't know if you would want to take out all the enemies first, or you could just try to grab it and run like he did. Whichever way, but you definitely need all 3 of them, and you'll see why when we get there. I think it's not the next part, but the part after that. It's where all the fun begins. So here I noticed that everything's dead because they don't like to call anything out. Except there's an enemy on the roof up there that they forgot about, so I'm going this way to try and make sure he doesn't see me. There are little pathways you can take. See right now, I know he can't hit me because I'm underneath him. Keep my eye on him though. I think one direct brute shot is also an insta-kill. Oh, someone else died, but luckily my checkpoint was right there. See, we might not have even got that if I didn't move up, so make sure you keep up with your teammates so you get the checkpoints. Now, I was just messing around over here, but I think I found a rocket launcher in this hallway over here. Yes, I did. Oh, somebody died. I must have forgot to cut that part out. But yeah, there was a lot of deaths in this video. It was 57 minutes, like I said. I managed to cut out more than half of it. So, it's gonna be frustrating. The end is especially frustrating. I can't even imagine if we didn't get the tank in there, how hard that would have been. But luckily, we found a way. So yeah, I can't really show you what they're doing because I was in this building, but it's just the same as the rest of the level. Sit back in the tanks, take all the enemies on the rooftops out. The ghosts are the main targets. I think this is the part that has 2 wraiths, so that's the exception. Kill the wraiths first, but definitely take out the ghosts if they're moving up on you. And then just pick off the enemies that you see on the ground and on the rooftops. Pretty much whatever is aggravated and shooting at you, kill them first. Yeah, this was pretty boring for me. I definitely wish there was a 4th tank so I could have gotten that. It would have made the end easier, it would have made the whole level easier, but yeah, definitely make sure you have these 3 tanks alive. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just checking what weapons I had. Yeah, we don't need that. I think here's where I finally move out to actually see what's going on out here. Maybe not. I can't remember if they were calling out snipers or anything. That might be why I'm still sitting in the room. Definitely did not want to be the one to die. Everyone was aggravated. We're 30 minutes into this level. Yeah, so this is definitely pretty boring. So, yeah, I gotta find something to fill the gaps with. If you guys have any questions, want to comment anything down below, let me know if you like the series. I know this level's pretty boring, but the other one should be more entertaining. I still need to go back and redo the first mission, but I have to do that on another account or something. Yeah, this area was definitely annoying. So many enemies over here, but they've all been taken care of. You can see all the carnage everywhere. This is also where you get that achievement for getting the Banshee, but there was no way we were trying to do that in LASO. That's actually really hard. I don't know if you guys have done it yet, but man, I had to change my button layout just so I could try to get in the Banshee before it blew up as I killed the guy. Took like 12 tries for me to get there. Alright, this is where the fun begins here, trying to get at least 1 tank inside there. I don't think you could get any more than 1, but as you can see, they're just sitting back shooting at the walls to the doorway, trying to kill all the brutes and whatever other enemies are up there. Because you definitely don't want to get ambushed while you're trying to do this. But yeah, so pretty much what's gonna happen is when Bungie made this, they knew it would be too easy if you had a tank in the building. So they made a staircase, which we tried to drive a tank up there, it did not work. And they also put some barriers on the other side so you couldn't get the tank up. So what we did, whenever it pops up, is we parked one tank in a certain spot and then drove a second tank up that tank and crossed it over the barrier. Then we did the same thing with the third tank. However, they had another barrier in the doorway, which was a little bit harder to get over, but we did find a way. Yeah, here's the part here. We parked the first tank by that light post, and then just had the other tank walk up the side of it and hop over. And then from here, he can pick off all the enemies that are still remaining from the little wave. So here's a close-up of where it is. And I'm trying to tell the other tank to come over here. Alright, with both tanks over here, what you want to do is try to get them positioned just like this. Now, it might not look like anything's happening, but you'll see when I move up closer. It's slowly but surely pushing the tank forward just a little bit at a time. But you can't even tell from here, but it definitely works, and it's definitely worth the time doing it. Yeah, see here, I move up a little bit. That's really, really hard to see that anything's happening, but it's definitely moving. I still can't believe this worked. This took like, I don't know, I'd have to go back and look. I want to say this took like 8 minutes to, not to push the tank over, but the whole process of getting this one tank inside took like 8 minutes at least. And there we go, tank is finally over. We could not get the second tank over as well, but it just looks funny watching it, dude. But yeah, now that we have a tank over, we're trying to get a checkpoint so that we don't have to do that all over again, because that actually took quite a bit of time. And someone actually just died. But we have a checkpoint right here, so we're all good. Alright. Now we just use this tank to kill all the enemies that are still remaining and get ready for the final battle. I think he tried to get the other tank over, but it wasn't happening, so stock up on any weapons you could find. Remember, I think they have like half the ammo when you pick them up. I think that's one of the skulls that does that. Just imagine how hard this would have been without this tank in here. There's a couple sets of dropships that come. I like to go up top here and go to the left. I like to stand right next to the computer at the end because it'll end the mission faster. But he teleported me over here, so. Yeah, it gets pretty hectic. You have to be careful with this tank because there's a skull on where enemies throw more grenades. And like I said, one grenade and the tank is pretty much done for. So as soon as the dropship comes, tank or somebody has to shoot the gunners out of it. See, someone died right there. Pretty sure the gunner blew up the tank. So you have to be real careful on this part and real quick. So main priority is to take out the gunners. Then quickly all the people they drop off, and here I think it drops a wraith and some enemies. So wraith is the main target, and then we're trying to distract all the enemies from grenading him while he's taking out the wraith. And we can also kill him too. I mean, yeah, that guy just got launched. I wouldn't recommend going anywhere near them, but you can definitely try and shoot at him. Watch out for the nades. And if you're here where I am, this isn't really a good spot because at one point I got killed by a suicide grunt, just charged me. So yeah, I tried to go up here and join the rest of my team and just pick them off from far away. At some point I picked up a carbine. I don't know when that happened, but it actually was useful. So someone just died. I thought I cut out all these deaths, but you know, when you have an hour-long video, you miss some things apparently. But yeah, I had a needler and a carbine apparently. That's a pretty good combo, I would say. The needler is for the brutes, and the carbine is for everything else. I can't stand not having a reticle. Like, that's the one thing that I pretty much don't like about LASO, not being able to see where I'm shooting. I don't know, I heard people talking about like taping a Cheerio to your TV. I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, whatever helps you get through it. Eventually you just get used to it, so. I cannot kill this enemy though. Yeah, definitely watch out for the fuel rod cannons. If you're low on health, you could probably see how that one's freaking out. You could probably just melee it like he's doing to get his health back. Oh, the tank almost killed him though. Watch out, no friendly fire. You can't tell your teammates from the AI in this either, so be careful. I believe this is the last dropship of enemies here. So after all this hard work and all the glitching the tank over the barriers and getting it into the final area, it's almost over. This is one of the longest, if not the level that took us the longest amount of time to beat. So, but like I said, just imagine this without the tank. So, your main goal of this mission is to get all 3 tanks to the end. If you don't, I would suggest restarting the last checkpoint.